Yeah, sometimes in life, it's just nice to be wrong. I thought I was wrong once, but it was because I thought I was wrong and I wasn't.
Guitar Stuff with John.
Welcome to another edition of Guitar Stuff with John. This is the first GSWJ for 2022, and I wanted to start it off with a bang. Bang! Bang. So, my friends at Yamaha have allowed me to do this. So, in the past, I'm the first guy to admit when I've changed my mind due to evidence or because I'm wrong about something. So, in the past couple of years, I've been asked on numerous occasions what I thought of guitars that have onboard effects on them. There's a few companies that do it, and basically, there's a speaker inside the guitar that provides reverb, chorus, potentially delay, whatever kind of thing they can put in the onboard module is what will come out of the sound hole. And so initially when I first saw instruments like this, I thought to myself, not as a guitar player, but as a performer, I looked at them and went, I can't use that because I only play guitar on stage. That's really where I want my guitar to work its best. And if I'm going to use effects, which I hardly ever do, except reverb potentially, I want the reverb to come from an external source and be its own signal. I don't want the guitar. It just feels weird to me to have my guitar putting out a processed signal through its sound hole, right? That never appealed to me. And as the last couple of years have worn on, and more people ask me about them, I've experienced a few more of them. I started to think, these guitars aren't designed for stage. That's not why they're being made. They're being made because it streamlines the setup of if you want reverb, chorus, delay, any of those things. If you want something like that on your acoustic guitar sound, but you don't have the time or perhaps the proper amplifier or the proper anything to get that to happen, there are guitar companies that build systems right into the guitar. So I can tell you right now that the first guitar I ever saw that did this were the Yamaha Trans-Acoustics. And I just didn't, I'll tell you how I felt about it. And I told Yamaha this. My buddy Terry Hume, who's a representative here for the East Coast, I told him, as I do, I'm brutally honest with everyone. And I told Terry, I said, every time I saw a Trans-Acoustic Yamaha, I would play it and think, this is one of the best sounding guitars acoustically that I've ever heard. Why did they waste this instrument on this system, right? That was the thing that was in my head. Because I wasn't thinking about it right, because I wasn't thinking about anything except getting on stage and doing what I've been doing for 40 years. And you get stuck in your way, right? But after a while, I started to see the value and indeed the genius of being able to have dedicated effects coming out of an acoustic guitar without an amplifier, without pedals, without any of these things. So, a couple of days ago, I went by Terry's place and he delivered to me a couple of smoking guitars. These guitars aren't even really in the system yet because they're a new breed. They're cutaways, and this one here, which is the FG-TA, which is the bottom of the line of the Trans-Acoustics, because it's an FG series, it's not an L series. This is a beautiful guitar. It's spruce top, toner on it. I'm going to get into that later. And laminate back and sides out of this beautiful mahogany. This mahogany is just gorgeous. It looks like you can reach right into it, right? So you all know I'm a major Yamaha fan, and I'm going to tell you why as we go through, but I want to get to this guitar. First of all, I just want you to get a gander at just how good this thing sounds without anything on, right? This is a gorgeous sounding guitar. Get out of town. It's a cannon. It's a cannon. And the neck is to die for, as all Yamahas are. Has this new cutaway, which they've not introduced before on this model, on this Trans-Acoustic model. Now, I used to say, damn, I wouldn't be bothered with one of those things, as I'd never use it. But guess what? If you have a guitar that sounds like this acoustically anyway, you're going to play it. And if it has a trick like this, it may inspire you to do God knows what. And that's the reason they're doing it. Yamaha builds their entire reputation on the inspiration that they deliver to the end user. The same as Boucher, the same as all these other builders. So, and they do this better than anyone. In my opinion, I've seen the other companies that do it. Watch this. So all you do is you hit this power button, hold it down, and then what I'm gonna do first is just put a little room on it. So there it is acoustically. We'll drive a little room on. That's the room sound. That's insane. That's the room. Now a little bit of hall. Watch the hall. That's only about halfway up. Man, it's a really nice, it's a beautiful reverb sound. Just sitting here playing it makes me, it's obvious why they've done this. And I've not spent enough time with an instrument like this to make that realization until now. This thing has been on my stand since I got it. And I keep picking it up because it's just cool. It's really cool. And it's something that doesn't exist anywhere else. I have a guitar with a concert hall sound coming out of the sound hole. Now here's the one I really like. It also has a chorus button, so let's try this. Put a little chorus on it. This just changes everything when you're playing rhythm. Oh, sweet. Wow, I mean, it's just amazing. It's amazing. And it has an output button. So there obviously is a pickup in this guitar. It's their proprietary under saddle. Inside the guitar, there's the guts of this system, which is a rather large module. I'll show it to you after a bit. And there's a speaker inside there that is producing all this effects return. It's just amazing. It just blows my mind because it's I've seen them work before, but it's not until you get alone with them in a room outside a music store, which is loud and cranky and way too much overtone going on in the room with other guitars, and you hear this thing in a dry room. Wow, it's just amazing. I love it. And I instantly back to playing, right? And there's the sound of that great Yamaha Dreadnought. So that's the Dreadnought version. So that is the FG-TA, cutaway Trans-Acoustic, right? So then they also gave me this little beast to show you. This is the FS cutaway Trans-Acoustic. So the small body version, same thing. Cutaway, which is new, the laminate mahogany back and sides, gorgeous wood choice, and this wicked sunburst spruce top, solid spruce top, right? Both are solid tops. And again, you get this idea of how much effort and time Yamaha puts in the factory in quality control to make these guitars these are under $1,000. They're just too bad I can't play it. Just a beautiful guitar. That classic Yamaha small body sound, right? Listen to the growl on that bottom end. I love that. Same thing, same system. So let's try a little reverb. There's the room at about 80%. New strings. I like the hall the best because I just prefer halls. This guitar is just built for fingerstyle because of the body size and the way it plays and the way it sounds. Throw a little chorus on there. It's just amazing. And the return of the effects on these guitars is so clean and so well done, and sounds like a professional processing that you'd get with an amplifier. except all of the sound is coming out of the sound hole. So I just have to say that I've had to rethink all of this, because now I'm going to tell you something else, just at full disclosure. They offered to let me keep one of these, and normally I wouldn't, because I have so many good Yamahas now. But I'm keeping that Dreadnought because I love the system. This is something that I could sit in here in the studio all by myself and turn on those effects and dial them in the way you want them and just play, and ideas come. And that's what many guitar builders do. Probably most of them. That's what they're attempting to do with everything that they build. They want the end user to get great ideas and great inspiration so that they play more, play better, create more, all these things, right? So let's take a close-up look at these guitars. I mean, it's going to be no surprise. These are Yamahas. They are built, in my opinion, with the highest quality control of any high-volume builder in the world. They might be the best at it. Yamaha has been building guitars, millions of guitars, for 70 years. And it doesn't matter if the guitar is built yesterday or 1972. If you pick that guitar up, whether it came from the shop or the factory, these instruments are absolutely flawless. I've never seen a bad Yamaha. I just haven't. It doesn't matter if you're paying $100 for one or $20,000 for one. They put the same amount of effort and pride in what they do as the biggest names in the business. And so yeah, I'm let's take a look at these, because I'm going to try to show you sort of the insides of them if it's possible. I'm going to do my best to give you a glimpse inside to see the electronics, and potentially we might be able to take a look at the speaker inside. But the build quality is fabulous. And again, these are the low models. These are the low end version of this. They put this system in their L series. There's an LL-TA, which is, basically damn near handmade, right? Like it's one step away from being in the shop in Hamamatsu. And those guitars, the L series guitars, are just fabulous. I have all kinds of them here, and I just love them. So yeah, let's take a close look at the Yamaha Trans-Acoustic, the Dreadnought, the FG, and the FS-TA. FS Cutaway Trans-Acoustic, and our Dreadnought with the torified, well, not torified, but toner top. Let's take a peek. So here we go. We're just going to take a quick look at this guitar. It's a very standard built Yamaha. You have the traditional face plates there with your the little leafy bits. It has the standard chrome tuners, machine heads. I'm pretty sure this is a 1 3/4 inch nut, and it's got a beautiful ebony fingerboard, or it could be rosewood. I'm never sure. Very nice, tiny detail fret markers. Bound, of course, in white. And then down to the body, we see that we have the fingerboard is all the way bound all the way around. These very simple triple purfled rosette, and our bridge, which is I want to say that that's rosewood, as is the fingerboard. It doesn't look like ebony close up. I believe they're using a plastic saddle and nut. I'm not sure about that either, but it's sort of standard on Yamahas. I've never had to replace either one of those things on a Yamaha guitar ever. And then we look at the top, which is very beautifully grained, nice tight grain with that toner. And the toner on these guitars, I've talked to people about this in Yamaha, and I don't know why it is, but it seems like when Yamaha colors a top, it seems to affect the guitar in a very positive way, volume and tone wise. And so yeah, this is one of those tops, and there's our Trans-Acoustic sticker. So there is the guts of the pickup preamp in there. can see a light shining inside. I don't know if we can get a good look at we probably can't, but inside on one of this next brace back is an actual speaker where this reverb and stuff is coming out of. I should have had what do you call, a snake cam to show you all that. And anyhow, off to the side here where the controls are, there's your dial for reverb room and reverb hall, your coarse setting, and this is your line out volume. So if you plug the guitar in, you can control the volume of I assume the guitar and or the effects, and you press and hold to turn it off and on. And that's it, that's all there is to it. Then we have this beautiful mahogany back, laminate back and sides. Just a gorgeous guitar. The wood that they use is so good. It's just really nice. And it has a one-piece mahogany neck, which is to die for, of course. And there's your standard nickel tuners, chrome. And it's just a beautiful guitar. This guitar acoustically just completely kicks butt. Beautiful instrument. I could do a lot fancier shooting of these instruments close up, but I like doing these handheld things because it makes me feel like you're actually with me in the room. This is me actually just kind of going over the guitar literally in real time. I don't want this to look fancy. I want you to see the guitar sort of the way I do. And there we go. So there is the FG-TA, the FG series cutaway Trans-Acoustic, and a great guitar all the way around. So here we have the small body version of it, the FGS, and same thing. Nice rosewood fingerboard, all bound. Beautiful laminate mahogany back and sides. And the top is got this classic Yamaha sunburst. That sunburst is gorgeous. And I don't know if they've used a toner on it beforehand, but again, this is an instrument that's just made to the standard that Yamaha uses for everything, right? The grain is tight on the top, beautiful grain. Black pins, which are plastic, I believe, of course. Shame on Yamaha and every other company that uses plastic, which is most of them. Our controls, the same as the other, just there. And again, this gorgeous back. The mahogany-ness is just wicked. Beautiful mahogany, even though it's a laminate. People kind of take crap on laminate, but laminate is real wood. It's a piece of mahogany with a piece of softwood and another piece of mahogany on the other side. It's a sandwich. And so you have real wood. It's not fake wood. There's the mahogany inside the guitar, right? It's not fake. It's just laminate. It's a layered piece of mahogany so they can get more guitars out of it. And it will age. It will open up. It will do all the things that wood does. Just maybe not as fast or as drastic as real solid wood would. Anyhow, there she is. The same guitar as the Dreadnought, except a small body and sunburst. And yeah, I love it. This will be going back to Terry. Look at the sunburst. Oh man, is that ever gorgeous? Oh, I forgot. Yeah, there's a pickup on a pick guard on these too. Clear Yamaha style pick guard. That's pretty cool. And there's one on the other guitar as well. I didn't even notice. That's how nice those are. You can't even tell they're there. That's beautiful. So there you go. There's the new cutaway Trans-Acoustic guitars. So there you go, folks. There's a close look at the new version of the Yamaha Trans-Acoustic guitars with the cutaways, sunbursts, tone tops, 2 different body sizes, and that I know about now. You never know with Yamaha. And I just want to close this session by saying thank you again for watching and for staying with us for 2 years. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. Subscriptions are free to you, and nothing happens. You just get notifications that I'm online when I come on, and it helps us. We're only 400 or 500 people away from 20,000 subscribers. And we're in 28 countries. So love all you. Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to close with this. People like you all, if you watch this channel for any amount of time, you know I'm a massive, massive Yamaha fan. And the reason I am is because they have built millions of guitars since the 60s, millions of them. And the quality control on those guitars is the highest in the business. And the way you can tell that is you can find a Yamaha built in the 70s, and it's still not only playable, but viable as a stage instrument. It might have only cost $200, but 50 years after the fact, it's still able to carry the mail. And that, my friends, is quality control. That's an instrument that was built to last, and all Yamahas are and always have been. The problem that Yamaha suffers the most is that when they build the cheap guitars and people use them as their starter instruments and all these different things, and campfire guitars and beach guitars and all this nonsense, it devalues what they are. They're an instrument that's made to last a lifetime, and they do. And I'll tell you, if you go on Reverb or these other places and look for old Yamahas, you'll find them on there, and they're going for big, big money. 4 or 5 times what they were sold for. And they are just as vintage a guitar as anything that any other maker has ever built, even though most of the earlier guitars were all laminate, solid tops, but laminate, as these are. And you just can't deny the fact that, and I've heard it many times when a guy goes in the store and he wants to buy a Martin or Taylor or Gibson, and the store employees let it slip that their favorite guitar in the room is actually, it's that Yamaha over there we like the best. Oh yeah, why is that? Well, go play it and find out. So the guy goes and plays it, and he finds out, and he walks out with the Yamaha, right? And he probably saved thousands of dollars. Not to say that you can't spend thousands on a Yamaha, because you definitely can. The custom shop in Hamamatsu makes some of the best handmade guitars on the planet in the history of guitar. So, and that tells you something right there as well. These people take this very, very seriously. Their work ethic and their art ethic is beyond reproach. It's what they do. They've been doing it for decades. And you should never discount any guitar company just because of a price tag or a lineage, a history, a legacy. There used to be a advertising copy of the Yamaha about 10, 15 years ago that said, this isn't your father's Yamaha. When they're talking about the new L series guitars that were coming out that were in the $3,000 to $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 range, they were trying to get people to look beyond the notion that Yamaha is just for students. They're not. Especially the ones that survived, that weren't abused into pieces from the 70s and 80s. Man, some of those guitars, wow. I've seen them, I've owned them. I still look for them every day. I go online just browsing through the antique Yamaha guitars because they are killer. So here you go. Here's another way that Yamaha continues to innovate. They've invented this system. There's other companies that have it now, but I'm pretty sure that Yamaha is the first to do this, and I'm sure they're the best. I can find no fault with this system. And now that I have one in my lap and I'm able to sit here and fiddle with it, I have to retract my opinion that these guitars with these type of systems absolutely do fill a purpose in a player's life. And their practice methods and their writing and composition methods, it's just one more way to stimulate your mojo. When you get the guitar in your hand and it sounds as crazy as that with no external force added, I mean, it's a real magic thing. So I'm going to turn this bad boy on here again, and I just love it. This is going to be a go-to guitar for me now because it's inspirational. Thank you. And thanks to Yamaha and all of the great builders out there who are trying to inspire us to be the best guitar players we can be. And I hope I help with that too. I love you. See you the next time on Guitar Stuff with John.